Okay, welcome to the Opportunities with EJD Webinar 8.0. In the last one, we talked about the Open Door Scholarship in Russia. This time around, we'll be looking at Hungary, which is I mean, maybe it's not so common among people. Most people don't think about Hungary, but there are some very quiet countries like that are equally nice. And thankfully, today we have a very experienced person who got a scholarship to Hungary and later went to Italy. Maybe along the line, too, he may tell us a little bit about Italy too, in addition to Hungary. I'm not sure if it is Hungary, they call it a Hungary, but he will tell us the right pronunciation. But before we go, I like to, go around and see a few people are already in the house. Okay, Adedipe Adedamola is here. Long time, man. How is it going? Hello, Adedipe, are you there? Okay, if it's not,
hello.
okay.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, hello, long time. Good afternoon.
Yes,
How have you been?
thank you, sir. I'm fine,
Good
sir.
to have you here again. Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
sir.
All right. Okay, Lawal Samuel, how are you? Lawal, are you there? Okay, if Lawal is not there, how about Fagbemi Emmanuel? My namesake, how are you today? Fagbemi Emmanuel?
I'm good, sir. I'm answering you, sir.
All right, nice. Thanks for being here. Yeah, my
Thank
brother Abiola Jami Olabode, good to have you here again. How are you?
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir.
Good to have you here. That's the spirit, man.
Yeah.
Good.
Afternoon, sir.
Aro Shafemayowa, how are you? Aro Shafemayowa, are you there? Okay, if Aro Shafe is not there,
I'm here, sir.
Okay, good. What's up? How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, good to have you right here. I mean, we'll be up very soon. I just want to, yeah, who else is there? Isaiah. Okay, yeah, let me follow this. Gift Ukpowe, how are you today? Gift, are you there? Oh, yes, good afternoon. Thanks for coming. My brother is here, Unteme Matthews. I think that's Seveho. Welcome, sir. Thanks for your passion always. How is it going today? Okay, good afternoon. I want to be sure if I'm already in. Yeah, Isaiah Mountain, you're here. We are very glad to have you here. Okay. Yeah, I guess we want to go ahead right away. Today we are talking about Hungary or Hungary. I don't know what this called. It's going to tell us what it is called. One thing I know is that right from when I was in primary school, in local authority primary school, Ajara, Iluda, Badagry, Lagos State, I used to do all this whole, I like all these countries and capital very well. And, there was this chewing gum, then sword chewing gum. So they'll write, what is the capital of Hungary? And you turn it over and you see Budapest. So recently I was, learning about Budapest. I discovered it's actually two different cities joined together to form the capital of Hungary. So today we have a scholar that studied in Hungary. I will read the citation and then I will cede the floor to him. He has a powerful presentation for us today. Odunayo, okay, just a moment. I think there are people waiting to enter. Let me quickly admit them, then I'll continue. Okay. Yes. Okay, so Odunayo David Adeniyi, born in Akure, Nigeria, holds a bachelor's degree in agricultural engineering from the Federal University of Technology, Akure. Great Futarian. Like that's my university. So I did bachelor's and master's degrees in Futa. And on his part, he has a master's degree in agricultural environmental management engineering with distinction from the University of Debrecen, Hungary in 2020. Was in the COVID year, by the way, supported by Hungarian government scholarship. He completed his PhD in Earth and Environmental Sciences at the University of Pavia in Italy. So you see Nigeria, Hungary, Italy in 2024. So with a passion, with a focus on digital soil mapping in agricultural lowlands, Odunayo has expertise in geospatial and machine learning techniques. As an African Research Fellow at the European Space Agency, ESA, in 2023, he applied Earth observation to monitor soil moisture across West Africa. Currently, is a postdoc research collaborator at CMCC Foundation, that is in Lecce, Italy, where he develops agricultural drought indicators using EO data. EO is Earth observation, Earth observation data and machine learning. His work contributes to advancing sustainable agriculture, remote sensing, and environmental science. So, with any electronic emoji you can use, can you make welcome our speaker for today, Dr. Odunayo David, Dr. Odunayo David Adeniyi. Sorry, I was going to say Olani, so I had to really catch myself. Dr. Odunayo David Adeniyi. So the floor is yours, Doc. Thank you so much for the privilege to have you on today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really delighted to be here. And bro, Dr. Emmanuel is a well-known person to me. He has been encouraging me back, even though virtually we never met physically, but we've been exchanging words. And of course, one of the message we exchanged some time ago was that I didn't contact you because I was referred to him when I was trying to apply to different scholarship to come to abroad. But of course, it just happened that our path didn't cross. But of course, what he's doing, it has been a motivation to me. So I want to say thank you so much for giving me this platform to give back to the people, especially friends and younger ones in Nigeria, for them to see what is happening outside their home country. So today I'll be speaking about scholarship and funding for study in Hungary. I'll share I have a short slide just to explain myself clearly. Hope we can all see my slides. Yes, I can confirm also from my phone here. So
Yes, I see from here.
So just a little bit about myself. Again, I'm a product of FUTA, and I did agricultural engineering, as I said. Then in 2018, I think it started from 2017, a brother just chatted me up and said, "Why do you want to do your master's in Nigeria? You have a good grade. Why not try to explore different scholarships?" So I was totally naive. I don't really know what's going on. But I later saw that most of my friends, they've taken many advantage to apply to different scholarships. And then, of course, I began to work towards that in late 2017. And I remember one of my lecturer in FUTA, engineer Dr. Samuel, is in agricultural engineering department, which told me about Hungary. I never heard of the country before. In fact, when I was applying for the visa, there was a short exam they gave to us. I'm very sure I failed the exam because I never heard of that country before, talk less of knowing the capital. But of course, I'll be talking a little bit about the country today. So just two parts of my slide. The first is just to talk about Hungary itself. And yes, it is pronounced Hungary. And not hungry.
Yeah, so I had two options, and thankfully, I one was right. So are people hungry in Hungary though?
But there are a lot of food there anyway. So it's a wonderful place. I will talk about the capital, the education environment, and the research culture. Then the second part will just be on the funding opportunities. It's a very short slide, but of course, I will try to entertain questions so that it can be well interactive. My next slide. Okay, why Hungary? Why will I say you should come to Hungary? Well, it's a very beautiful city. I mean the capital anyway, and it's a very beautiful country. Even though the language is kind of very tough, it's Hungarian, but you can actually survive and cope with just some little welcoming, just like any other country that have different language. I know there are kind of people in Japan and in Russia and they survive over there. So it's a major European student city, especially the capital. high finish from University of Debrecen, and Debrecen is kind of also I think the second largest, but it's also a very student city as well too, just like Budapest. And it's also a member of the European Union. It's in Central Europe and very strong regional connectivity. It has a very long academic tradition, many English taught programs. Yes, there are a lot of English taught programs there, and they are quite good lecturers and professors. You might have had some great scientists that have actually come out from the universities. And of course, it is a generally lower living costs than many Western European countries, capitals, and that is true. It's how you can't compare the housing costs, the feeding costs, to Italy or to any Western Europe, and it's kind of very, very low. And the lifestyle snapshots you can mention perhaps in your motivation letter. I mean, the purpose of sharing this slide is just that maybe you want to write a motivation letter. I mean, knowing about the country, it's something that's also help you. I mean, shows that you are motivated to come. And it's the International Student Committee, especially in Budapest, and most of the regional universities are very strong. And of course, there's a lot of cultural museums, the music festivals, famous Thermal Park. Yes, there are a lot of famous thermal spa there in which you can enjoy. And also their transport system is very good. And it's also bring a very clear academic plan. Most their bachelor's is 3 years, the master's 2 years, unlike some other country which is 1 year, but fine. I mean, they have also opportunity for you to learn the language if you want to. How big is the system? Sorry. I need to- the schools there are about 467 institutions there. They have some primary schools, they have upper secondary school, but of course we are focusing on the higher education institutions. So they have a lot of institutions and tertiary students. They're actually very large. It's actually very large community there, and this actually also could actually contribute to how you can also reshape your motivation data, just to know that you have understanding of where you're going to. Uh, it's you can do more of researching more of the universities, but each region has universities that they are very streamed and focused on area of sorry, my slide went off. Just give me a moment. Please just give me a moment. My laptop folded up.
Not a problem.
You can pause the recording. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we can keep talking. If you have questions, you can already put them in the chat. Like if you anticipate some questions, and while we wait, maybe I can still go around to ask. When was the first time you heard about Hungary? I'll go around. Taiwo Joy, do you want to tell us when was the first time you heard about Hungary? Taiwo, are you there? Okay. How about Aru Shafemayowa? When was the first time you heard about Hungary?
Actually,
I'm
Okay,
sorry, my
about-
slide folded up, but it will come up
no
in the
problem
next
at all.
2 to 3 minutes. So
Yeah, no
Okay,
I will
stress.
just
So we'll
continue
going
without
around.
the slide. Then I'll
Okay,
come
nice,
up
nice.
when
Okay,
it comes up. I will
let's hear
share
from
them.
Aru
So
Shafemayowa, then I'll come back to
it's
you.
a very
Okay.
very good place for for academic exploration. So there are kind of different universities there. High finish from University of Debrecen, as I said earlier on, and where I studied agriculture and environmental management engineering. However, in Budapest itself, it has multiple universities, and University of Szeged, Pech. Most people studying medical, medicine, agricultural related courses, and mathematics and different courses. in different region. Now, sorry, I'll move to the to the funding opportunities now. I just wanted to give a brief description about Hungary. So my laptop is coming up, please.
Sure. So Maya, over to you. What were you gonna say?
Okay, I heard about Hungary like a few years ago, let me say between 2016, 2017, when I was doing
Okay.
my master's University of Lorraine. So there's one of this professor that is one of the top professors there. So, but because every time you are allocated to work under him, he's a very top person. I was like, is it because he finished his higher education from Hungary? That's why he's been a very tough
Interesting.
person. So I'm a little bit. I want to know about education in Hungary, what it looks like. So thank you very much.
I mean, I don't know much about Hungary, but I can already observe that they have a no nonsense kind of policy. Like, I mean, maybe our speaker will tell us more about that later. All right, so this slide is up. So let me see the floor for our speaker.
Okay, let me just move a little bit faster to the interesting part. But okay, so this way I was just talking about. I just did a rough estimate. I mean, the typical monthly student budget around 400 to 800, including the house rent, like that. For me, throughout when I was there, I lived in the dormitory throughout, which is in the hostel, which is about 40,000 forints in a month. That's as at that time, that's around 100 or 120 euros, which you can never find in any part of Europe. So, but of course, there are actually smart ways in which you can also reduce, I mean, your cost of living if you are there. So, I mean, this also can be another part you may want to input in your motivation letter, Hangul, but of course, just having knowledge of how it is over there. So, okay, there are kind of important scientists that you may want to know or research, or I mean, also mentioned that they are from Hungary. They have Nobel laureate, and yeah, they are doing quite very well in medicine, in physics, and chemistry. They are great scientists over there. So, a strong motivation letter for Hungary based. So, uh, of course, it must include your academic goal, why the Hungarian program is actually important to you, including the university, the course, the labs, and of course the supervisor in which you are going to be working with. And that is if you are working PhD. But for masters, it's more or less like you may not have a supervisor at the point. So, but we're going to talk about that later on. And also the proof of preparation of what you are about to do or what you want to focus, and your impact plan, and your practical readiness. Perhaps maybe you have an idea of some budgeting or document or like that. Now, I want to say something here even before we start going to the scholarship part. When you prepare your motivation letter, from my own understanding, the motivation letter is for the school you're applying for, not for the scholarship itself. So sometimes people write motivation letter, especially when they're applying to Hungary and they are begging for money, or perhaps they are writing the letter see if they are applying for a scholarship. They are requesting for a scholarship. No, motivation letter, it's not the letter for you to request for a scholarship. It's a letter to just to give understanding what is motivating you to wanting to come to that university or to that department to study that particular course. So when the professor or perhaps the person that's reviewing your letter actually see your letter, he must be very convinced that you are ready, you are motivated to do that particular course. So it is not it's not an application letter to get a scholarship. It's just a motivation letter. Let us put it that way. So Hungary specific angles. Of course, as we said, it is international student environment, also depending on the university you're going to be choosing. And of course, you should avoid to make your letter be generic. There is no need to prove what you cannot have any evidence, because of course, your material letter, if you do it well and it's very okay, they will actually, perhaps there could be an oral interview in which it will also strictly focus on what you have said on your motivation letter. And if you have lied, it will not be very good for you. So now let's go to the funding routes to study in Hungary. So there are different funding routes depending on your citizen. But as I see, I know that most of us were from Nigeria. So I think out of all the funding routes that I wrote here, I think maybe 3 or 4 is only applicable to us. And that is the Stipendium Hungarian Government Scholarship, the Scholarship for Christian Young People, the FAO Hungary, which is for agricultural students or food, people in the food technology course of study, and the Erasmus, people that this Erasmus joint mobility application. I'm not really expert in that aspect or conservant with that Erasmus stuff, but of course, it's just similar to the way I know there might be some older webinar on that before, seminar on that before. So it's just speaking investing in Hungary. So that's just it. So let's move into it. So the Stipendium Hungarian Scholarship. This is best for people that want to come to do bachelor's or master's on one-tier programs. So what is one-tier programs? One-tier programs is just bachelor's and master's together. So bachelor's, the people that want to do like some courses like pharmacy in the University of Debrecen, in University of Pech, as I know, it's one-tier programs. So there are some courses in which some bachelor's and masters are together. So like you just do 6 years straight instead of doing bachelor's and doing master's later, you just do them straight. So that's how they call one-tier programs. And also this stipendium curriculum also is if also meant for people that want to do PhD. And it depends on the annual call and your country partner. So currently it's open. I mean, if you click on that link that is there, stipendiumhungaricon.edu/apply, it's opened, and the deadline for the 2025-2026 is 15th of January 2026. This scholarship has 2 parts. I will say that from my experience in 2018, I applied then, but I didn't get it. And why? Because the first part has to do with the sending partner. And the sending partner, according to my understanding there, it's the Federal Scholarship Board of Nigeria. So they have to nominate you. So I think there is a quota of people they have to nominate. So one of the way Federal Scholarship Board from Nigeria nominates is that they used to have this FSB exam that they used to do. So you have to write that exam, and that exam is for each the exam is done for each regional headquarters. So you have to search, you have to go to education.gov.ng and search the FSB portal for you to be able to know when they are going to write that exam or the application. So because you have to apply first, yeah, you can do both concurrently. As you apply for the Stipendium Hungarican, you have to apply also to FSB because they work together. It's a bilateral education agreement between Hungary and Nigeria as well. So those two works together. I'm very sure Nigeria is included, but I think as of last year, I don't know if FSB has been cancelled. Maybe someone can confirm that, but I know that that is how it works. So the sending partner have to nominate you, and then before the scholarship can actually work. And the other part is that the application is of two phase. At first, as I said, you apply to the university. It's the same website. It's not different websites. It's that same stipendium.ogaricom.hu apply. There you choose the university you want to apply to, the course of study. Then you write a motivation letter for the university and the course of study. So the motivation letter is to the university, not for the scholarship. Then when you fill everything with your academic documents, of course, your maybe your bachelor's degree for your master's or secondary school, I think they accept WAEC, so of course, and that's it, and you submit. So the scholarship part is just for the FSB, in which when they nominate you, of course, when they send your name to them, then of course you have to wait until they consider you for the scholarship. And yeah, it's kind of a little bit strict, because from the Nigerian sending part is where the challenge is, and that was where mine was turned down. But of course, it was good and encouraging applying for it, because through Stipendium Ogaricom, I was able to know Hungary. I never know anything about the country before. So, and the scholarship covers your tuition fee, health insurance, a monthly stipend of 40,000 forints every month. Then, of course, the federal government scholarship also gives you money as well too, in addition. But without it as well, the monthly stipend they pay is actually okay. And there's a accommodation contribution, which is also 40,000 forints. Or you stay in their dormitory that they provide for you free of charge. I think that's it about the and of course, when you move through, when the sending partners, which is Nigeria, has actually sent your name, then you move to the host university, where they also evaluate all the documents you've sent, and perhaps some they have to do oral interview, just based strictly on your motivation letter, and also to test your English language, or perhaps based on the course of study you want to come and study. And some write some exams, depending on the course in which you're applying for. And of course, you have to read well the call of application, because most times they tell you the category of course of study in which you are giving priority to. Most times agriculture and health and engineering. So you have to check which one they are giving environment. They are giving the priority to, so that you are not too focused, or you do it well, but of course, just for you to have in mind that this is what they are prioritizing at this time. The second one, which is a scholarship I got, was a scholarship for Christian young people. So just a brother like that just sent this to me early 2018. I didn't take it serious, because I was wondering, is this real or not? But of course, it was the one that opened the door for me. So I applied for these two. And how does this work? This also is kind of similar to the Stipendium Hungarian Scholarship, but the difference is that now it is the church that is nominating you. And how does it work? So they will require that, first of all, who it is for in general, it is targeted at young Christian students from crisis region, developing countries such as Nigeria, Kenya, some countries in Iraq, Iran, and just consigned nations, the persecuted nations anyway. So, and the degree programs, it's at participating in Hungarian institution. Of course, you have to look for universities in Hungary that you want to apply for, and the eligibility and country lists are defined also in the annual core, as I said. And as I said, just like Stipend Algorithm, this also is open now for the 2025-2026 session. And you can check that website I shared there, hungary.eps.gov.hu. That's where you find details about the scholarship and also how you can apply. As I was saying about how to apply, so it's also two parts, just like Stipendium Algorithm Scholarship. The first part is that you have to be nominated by the church. So I don't know how they are doing that now, but what I know, which it was how how I applied then was this. So you request for a letter of recommendation or a letter of attestation from the the apex pastor of your church, maybe a bishop or archbishop of your church, or if you are in the Pentecostal church, the general overseer or the head pastor of your denomination. So he writes a letter of recommendation that you are a Christian, you are a member of this church, and in the letter it contains your name, your full name, where you are born, and the dates of birth, and your maybe perhaps possibly your passport, your identity number, just to show that it is from you. And the letter should be on the letter-headed paper, stamped and signed by the person that is actually recommending you, which is that's your head pastor. So this letter is very important because the Hungary help, they will verify this letter, and of course they will use it to be able to admit you or accept you for the next stage. So the letter is not for you to form that, oh, I'm being persecuted. No. That's not what the letter is. Letter is just to attest your faith, because it's a faith-based scholarship, and that you're also a member of the church. So it's not more than that. Then the second phase, also like Stipendio Garicom, once they verify and they skip through on that, then the next stage is that they take your motivation letter and all your credentials to the universities. The university interview you, do everything, then you wait for the final ranking and for the final announcement, just at the Stipendium Garicom. Now I heard that now the Church of Nigeria have to nominate you, but I'm not sure how that is working. But this I just shared is how it worked then in 2018, 2019, even 2020, if I could remember. So but what is so important is that you're informed the head pastor of your church, or perhaps the apex pastor or bishop of your denomination, and that letter, it's very important. And of course, you get more information when you go through the link. Then the FAO Hungarian government scholarship. As I said, it's meant for most people that's agricultural or food related discipline. And of course, Nigeria also is eligible for this. And the application is not yet out. I think it comes out around January or February of each year. So we can go through that website in which I shared, www.fao.org/Hungary/FAO in Hungary, something like that. It gives you more about it. And there's an application form you have to fill. Yes, and of course you upload your diplomas and your transcripts, just like the Stipendium Algorithm and also the Christian Scholarship as well too. Of course, very important, the language certificates, just to verify a proficiency in English. I think that is enough. A letter of proficiency in English is enough. On this also apply to all other scholarships I've actually shared earlier. And the motivation letter and CV, I didn't mention that, but CV also is very important, even for the other scholarships as well too. and this time in FAO, a passport copy. And after you fill this form, you submit it, send it to an email address that is going to be in the call. And from there on, they take it up from there, and you have to keep waiting. But of course, they always, if they accept, they said there are two acceptance first. The first acceptance is that they've received your application, just like stipendium and Hungary come to when they stand, they've received the sending partner, your name or like that. So the second phase is always the university you're applying to, where they also interview you and verify your documents, and they are the one to score whether you are fit to receive the scholarship or not. Same as FAO, same as stipendium, same as scholarship for Christian young people. So it's the similar, just that different websites, and FAO is agricultural and food related discipline. Then I'm not really an expert much in this, but of course, this is Erasmus Modus Joint Masters, in which maybe some might have shared before. It's just that I think this has to do with sometimes you have to pick like 4 universities, and of course, Hungary is always a very good place to visit because it's beautiful, and of course, this is going to be paid in euro, so you have more money to save or have in your pocket if you choose Hungary, because you don't have to spend much over there. And yeah. And there are some universities that also give scholarship in Hungary, but you have to search. I'm sure of the University of Debrecen. Some give partial scholarships. We just have to go through the university name and scholarship and international students. You have to search to know. But there are some universities that give partial scholarship or full scholarship as well too. But I would say the best is to get either stipendium or Christian or FAO, because what the university could mostly offer what they call it now, just waiving your tuition fee and like that. So yeah, good luck on that. And of course, I would recommend you can search EURASESS Hungary, there where you can find these various grant and scholarship listing over there. Although compared to perhaps maybe other universities or countries, there might not be much university scholarships in Hungary. Yeah, because most of these scholarships are I think they are managed by the Temple's Public Foundation. So there's a foundation like that. And of course, I mean, it's I don't want to say it's not a super rich country, but of course it's a well concentrated country, let me put it that way. I mean, they are contented with what they have. Okay, application toolkits again. Of course, you need a passport. You need to have your diploma and your transcript ready. You don't often with certified translation if it's not in English, but of course, I know we have our document in English, so they accept English. Don't worry. And language proof, a letter of English proficiency from university is okay. A CV, a motivation letter, as I said, which is very important. Recommendation letter, especially if you are applying for stipendium, scholarship for Christian young people. And most times as well, so if you are applying for FAO, you also need a recommendation letter. And in addition to FAO letter, FAO application, you also need police reports. Yeah, you need a police reports for that as well. And then last, the medical certificate, you will need that too. So you have this also included during the application. So you need to have a document from a certified doctor that shows that you are free from HIV/AIDS or hepatitis or messed up this, and also give situation of your health. So you need a medical certificate to apply for all of the scholarships that has been mentioned. First, quality checks, names match across all documents. This is very important. Your names must be consistent throughout all the documents, and you scan very readable combined PDFs. Also, your naming of your files must also be consistent, and at least most times the last name, the document type, and the program is very important. It's very important. And the interview preparation, if requested, which always happen kind of when your application has skipped through some stages, you have to do some interview. So of course, you have to tell a story about who you are, your goal, listen to the question they're asking you, and of course, focus really on your motivation letter, because that's where most of the question might be coming from. And of course, have an understanding about reasons for Hungary, reasons for the program, the research you want to do, or your research interest, the project, if you are doing for PhD or possible masters as well too. Is this needed? Yeah. Likewise, this is when you're in Hungary, you're actually gonna be a residence permit, which is also needed for all students living in Europe, studying in Europe. They always need this what we call residence permit. So of course, it's when you're there, I mean, that's not going to be something difficult to do. But I think what I should have added was the visa application, which is also not difficult. It's kind of also similar to this with your university admission letter and your scholarship letter. It's not a very big problem to have this document. I think I will stop here so that I can entertain any question, and we can make it a little bit interactive before we round it up. So Dr. Manuel, I don't know if you want to coordinate the questions. Time.
Yes, thank you so much. We already have some questions in the chat. Fatogu has been asking a lot of questions, actually. I think he's really passionate about this. But before I even go for this, right? Personally, I any scholarship that involves the federal government of Nigeria, I'm very skeptical. So, but thankfully, I think I've given the option of if you are close to your pastor or something, if you can access the pastor of your church, so the Christian young men thing is you don't need the government, right?
Yes.
And then FAO2, you don't also need the government.
Exactly.
Okay, good. Because anything that involves Nigeria, I mean, I started learning my lesson from secondary school. I traveled all the way from Lagos to Akure. That was my first time ever traveling out of Lagos to write that exam. Then I didn't even know FUTA. I didn't even know any school called FUTA. So it's like I was straight out of secondary school. And we went to write this bilateral something. I chose Russia and Greece. Till tomorrow, I don't know what the result was. So since then, I've been very... Once Nigeria is inside, I'm not interested somehow.
Same here too. In 20...
Yeah.
Is it 2018? Yeah, 2018. I traveled from Enugu to Ibadan because then I served in Enugu. So I stayed back in Enugu to work and to write that exam. It was very serious. I was really disappointed that I didn't, I was not nominated, but of course, I think God used this Christian one to console me. So
yeah.
But of course, because of the case of seminar, we just have to share all.
It's important. Yeah, it's important. You know, someone even pointed out, I think the federal government has even stopped anything bilateral scholarship.
Yeah, I heard
because
that.
Even before they stopped, the people go abroad and they get stranded. The government doesn't send them their money and all that. I think it's not the best, really. Yeah, so thankfully there are options. So yeah.
Let
me
read some of the question here. Good day, sir. Can we have a sample of the motivation letter as a guideline? Yeah, I will check if there is a sample, but of course, I mean the best is you can pour your heart, and then we can pour your heart. I mean, just write based on, like, for example, during my time when I was writing my motivation letter, I just pour my heart on what motivated me to study agricultural engineering for the first time. And I start with the story, and then of course I build on that as well too. So, but of course I will try to check if I have one still, and then I'll share to the WhatsApp group. Yeah. The second one. Okay, thank you so much. So somebody's gonna cover the Erasmus scholarship. Thank you. I didn't want to talk much on that. Okay. I think the government has continued I think so too. I think so, but I'll confirm and put in the group. Okay, so I think somebody's raising up his hand. Lawrence, you can go on.
Thank you.
Okay.
Before he comes up. Oh, okay, please go ahead. Okay. All right.
Prof, thank you very much. Good day to you over there.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
I was expecting you to ask me when did I hear about Hungary, but you didn't ask me. All right, I got to know
You can
about Hungary.
talk about it now.
I got to know about Hungary as far back as 1996 Atlanta Olympic, that
Interesting. Wow.
Kanu was called against them in that
Interesting.
1996. That was when we were in secondary school, when we dodge out to go and watch football and come back to read our book.
Yep. But I grammar school.
When our brother was a goalkeeper that year, Dosu Joseph.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so my question to our brother is when before you get into the Hungary for their studies, do you have to learn their language before you are admitted into any course? That's the first question. And is it possible we have the slide of this presentation so that we can go through? Because somebody like me, I didn't see the slide clearly from my end here, and the network was not also good to hear you holistically. Then the third one is, can we get a list of those universities that offer the Christian scholarship and their website within Hungary so that we can share it across to some of the young ones who may be interested in getting scholarship into Hungary to study BSc or Masters or PhD? So those are my questions. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for your question, and thank you for how you started. I never even knew that Nigeria have ever played with Hungary before. So, for the first question, no, we don't have to learn the language. In fact, I don't even know the language. I only know how to greet, and that's it. So it's not a prerequisite. There are a lot of English program there. So yeah. And then the second question, um, yes, I will release the slides to the WhatsApp group or to Dr. Emmanuel to share. So that's fine.
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think there are
And
some questions
sorry,
from
the last question
okay,
again
please go ahead.
that he asked was about, so there is no specific school. So, but of course, on the websites, you can choose any school based on what you want to study. Yeah, you can choose school based on what you want to study. So it's Hungary help. It's kind of like what they call it now? Like I don't want to say NGO, but it's not NGO. It's all this like a social help that is being rendered to developing countries as well. So yes, it's not a particular school, but on the website they will list different universities that you can come to study there. So please go ahead, Dr. Emmanuel.
Right. I think I have a couple of questions in the original form. The first one, what are the documents I need to get started and time of the year to apply? Okay, I mean, I think you've answered some of this question, but you could just summarize like in, more clearer form, maybe.
Yeah, as I
Documents
said
and
earlier
time to
on,
apply.
yeah, the time to apply is now because the stipendium and the Christian scholarships open now. The deadline of the Christian scholarship is on the 10th of January, and deadline for the stipendium and Garrison scholarships on the 15th of scholarship. And of course, they are free application. You don't have to pay anything. The documents you need are what I've shared that is on the screen. You need your medical certificates, recommendation letters, motivation letters, your CV, your English language proficiency letter, your diploma. Of course, they're in English. You don't need to transcript them, and your passport as well too. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for the answer. Another question. This person is saying, I don't have 2-1. I have 2-2. That's 3.3.7 over 7. That's like UI. Is it possible that I win a scholarship at all in any school? I studied chemistry and maths education. I've been teaching chemistry and physics for over 15 years. What do you think about that?
I don't see any problem with that. The scholarship itself, it appears as if it's not academic merit based. Both the
Okay, it's not
stipendium,
about you have to have a first class or anything like
no,
that.
it's not. It's not about merit
Nice.
based. Even though
Mm,
for me, I finished 4 points. I know somebody that also finished better than I, but didn't get it. So that
imagine.
shows that it's not really a merit base. So, but you may ask, what is the criteria? Well, I would say God factor. I also say also your academy also has a contribution to. I'm not ruling it out, but sometimes you
It's not the
may not
main thing,
really
right?
be able to pinpoint the basis why your application is rejected or is accepted. It's just like the federal government scholarship too. It happens like that. But so, what if you are able to skip through all those processes, your sending partner? I think where your academic merits actually showcase is during the school trying to evaluate you. So it means that if you finish with 2-2, for example, you must put much effort during the interview phase. You must be able to convince your interviewer. You must be able to, I mean, answer the questions they're asking. And for bachelors, if you are going to be writing some exams, you must be able to do very well in the exam. So that's we able to earn you more points that will that they can use to recommend you for the final phase of the scholarship.
Thank you so much for that. Otolori. Okay, no. I think someone raised their hand. Someone's hand was up before. Is it that your question is answered? If your question is answered, you can unmute your mic and ask.
Good afternoon, sir. I
Yes,
raised
yeah,
my hand
thanks. All right. Good
earlier.
afternoon.
So thank you for this informative session. Although I came late, so I want to ask, is this
Not a
only
problem. You can
applicable
have the
to
recording later.
is it only applicable to the Christian scholarship or the stipendium or Garrison scholarship? Because I have done the application, I've completed my application for stipendium on Garrison, but I've not been able to get access to this and sending partner websites. I've been trying, but I've even sent them email, but I've not received any um, mail from them all. So I don't know if you can help out. Is there anything else I have to do? And I don't know if doctor would help me review my motivational letter. Don't know. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I'm trying to see if I can get that website now.
Who is writing on our slide?
I'm
Who's
the one.
that?
I'm the one.
Okay. I was
Education
wondering.
dot
Okay.
org. I think it's education.org. Sorry, a moment. Let me just confirm.
Are you talking about the Nigerian one?
Yes, yes.
I think
Education.gov. Sorry,
it
how
should be
can I find this?
.gov.ng.
Yes. So this, as I said, somebody said on the group that the scholarship, the FSB has been discontinued.
I think so too. I think I heard something like that. I think they
But
discontinued
I'll
foreign
need to,
scholarships.
because they are the they are the sending partner. But I will not say that we should roll it off because things change. So since you say you have completed the stipendium Ogaricom part, still hold on and still keep watching to see if it's going to be open or not. And if it's open, it means a lot of people not be aware. I'm very sure of that. So that's that. But of course, as I said, it's a two-phase. So the stipend curriculum parts on the Hungarian website and the one from the federal government's website. And to review your motivation letter, yeah, if you share with from Manuel, you can get back to me. I can proofread, but it's kind of the same way you write the motivation letter for every other scholarship. What I'm just trying to emphasize that it's a motivation letter, not a scholarship request letter. So it's the letter is going to be directed to the university you want to go and study. It's going to be directed to the maybe the head of the department or to the department you're actually going to go and study, whether for bachelor's or master's. So it is not a funding request letter. So that's just what you must be careful about. And you must be able to, share what motivates you, why you want to, why that department, why Hungary, why that course, what you have before, what you are hoping to learn, and what your skills you have open to acquire, and how it's going to benefit your home country or help your future career, your career goals, all those kind of things. You can refine them and put it well. And of course, I advocate you can also use some AI based to actually refine your thoughts very well. There's
Well, I thought some
nothing
people
issue
check.
about
I
that.
thght some people check that and they flag it. I've seen
No,
some
that is
cases
if it is
online.
generating it for you. But if you are
Fully okay.
refining your thoughts, yeah, I don't think
Right.
there's anything bad there. I mean, your thoughts should be unique to you. Your story should be unique to you. But of course, in
Yeah.
refining it, sometimes we have AI based when AI generational. So, things like this should not be difficult.
And since she's applied for the Hungarian stipendium already, sorry. So can she also still apply for the Christian Youth one?
Yes, it's not nobody. It's different application, and you can use the same motivation letter. Yeah.
So she can apply for all three. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's possible.
Because for me, right, I wouldn't even advise anybody to do the that selection partner thing that involves the Federal Ministry of Education. Personally, I won't advise anyone. So Joy, I think that's messy, right? Since you have applied for that one, if you can also apply for the other two, apply for the Christian youth. If you can, apply for FAO. Thankfully, FAO does not need anybody's recommendation, right? It's just straight to FAO.
Yes.
So for me, I like such direct things. Like I don't need to. But if you can have access to your general overseer or the number one pastor of your church, you can apply for the Christian one. I think that for me, if I was going to apply for Hungary right now, I think I'll most likely explore the Christian option because I have access to our number one pastor in my church, and if not, then I'll also apply for FAO, which does not need any middle person. So I think those are some things people can explore. Thank you so much for the clarification. Arosha Femayowa, your question, please.
All right, sir. Sorry, I lost my network. Why? Probably must have been answering my question that I posted on the chat. So the question I want to ask, the FAO, is it agricultural, related discipline, or is generally for anyone in engineering and other stuff?
It's only for agriculture and food related discipline.
Okay. Then secondly, the Christian, the Christian stuff scholarship, like what was the word? What does it cover? So that's the second question.
Yeah, it's cover more than all of them. So I've forgotten how much in euro now, but in Hungarian it's 166,000 every month. And for people doing bachelor's and masters, and even one-time masters. But for PhD, it's a little bit less because they have a standard amount they pay for PhD students. So, but of course, you can get more of the details in the website I shared. Yeah, and of course,
is there any
also
of the
the what
scholarships
also
that
is
still
that
require you to work extra? Like,
yes,
the
you
list
can
of the scholarships.
you can work. Yeah, but
must
but
you
the
work
law,
or you don't? Or you okay?
but the law states
I'm
that you
trying to
must
ask
not
if
have you must not work more than 20 or 24 hours in a week as a student, but you can work.
Yeah. But do you have to work? I think that's the main thing I want to get at.
Okay. For the Christian scholarship, no. For the stipendium,
Okay.
depending on your lifestyle, maybe.
If you cut your quota according to your size, it should be fine.
Yes, with the stipendium. Yeah, but you may not have much savings compared to the Christian one.
Okay. What about the FAO one?
The FAO is, as at time I remember, is 70,000.
Which is so the Christian one is number one, right?
Yeah, the Christian one is number one.
Followed by FAO.
Followed by FAO, yeah. Sorry,
then stipendium. So you can see that stipendium wahala self. You have Nigeria wahala, and then the money is not even that good.
No,
so
the plan is that
do FAO if you're in a Greek. Okay.
The plan is that the federal government will augment the payments,
which is not even guaranteed.
Which is not guaranteed.
That's the trouble. Yeah. It's not guaranteed. I have personal friends who have been funded by maybe NITDA or somebody, and they get that maybe NITDA doesn't pay them for several months. I mean, it's so messy and it's so annoying indeed. But it's okay. Like, at least, thankfully, there are options. I think that's the happiest thing for me here. So for me now, if I'm going to apply, like I said, I'll do, okay, I'm not in an agric field, so I'm confined to the Christian one, which I think, I can easily get my pastors buying into it. So I think that's the deal here. All right, Amos David, your question, please.
Yeah, good afternoon. So my question is about the interview. How rigorous is the interview process after being admitted or being considered for funding and the rest?
For the interview, as I said, it's kind of this. I think the second to the last phase, because the last phase is for you waiting. So if you have skipped through the checking and all the technical checking, and they've accepted your letter of recommendation or like that, for the interview, it's, as I said, it's sometimes focus on your English proficiency. So that's the purpose. So that's kind of sometimes what they are testing you about. and also focus on what you've written in your letter of motivation. Also your motivation relating to your academics and every other thing as well too. So it's not really rigorous. Mostly it's just to test your English proficiency. So that's just the interview phase. And some departments you don't do interview, you have to write some exam. So that's it. So that we need to go very soon because I need to attend something now. I'm sorry. But
No,
of course, we can
okay.
continue our conversation in the chat. I will.
Okay, no stress at all.
Surely.
Okay. Thank you so much. So I think at this point, all I'll just say, can we do something for our guest? Can we use your favorite emoji to appreciate him for giving us of his time? Then I guess I'll just I want to, for those whose hands are still raised, so we'll still go ahead and hear your question out. If it is something I can answer based on what he has said, I will answer. And if not, it will be on record and then I can refer them to him later. So Amos, you're done. Peter Adepoju, what's your question?
All right, so
Peter. Okay.
My question actually, I think that's just about, I'm not quite sure. For the Christians scholarship, it is just from the pastor, not academic based. Apart, not from the pastors, yes, the accommodation from mentors or supervisors, just the pastors, right?
Well, I'm not sure, but I just shared the link. The last link I shared. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
I can, sir.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but the last link, if I'm resharing the link, this link I just shared is for that scholarship for Christian youths. So you can check it. Every information you need should be there. Yes. Thank you for that question. All right. Yeah. Okay. So we go for Adewumi Emmanuel, my namesake. What's your question, please?
Oh, thank you very much, sir. I have 3 questions.
Welcome.
Number 1 is the TOEF and the IELTS, are they compulsory, or the English proficiency letter is okay from the institution? And the second one is that I'm a 7 core member, so currently I don't have access to my pastor at home. So, and also I'm a part of Nigerian Christian Corpus Fellowship. So I want to ask if I can write the letter in that respect of recommendation.
Yes, I mean the national president of NCCF should be able to. I suspect he should be able to give you a letter. But if I'm not right, Dr. David can, Dr. Odunayo can, tell us in the chat. So your first question is about TOEFL and IELTS. You can also answer that in the chat, like you said, if possible. But I think that if it is a requirement, then it may. But okay, I guess what, all the links are shared here because our major job here is to introduce you, give you the whole an overview of everything. But by the time you really want to do these things, you need to really do some digging yourself. And that's why as he's talking, I'm sharing the links here. So all the links he has ever referred us to here, for you to get the best out of it, you need to sit down with it. So the first one, so I've just reshared the link for the stipendium Hungary. Then the next link is for the youth. Okay, by the way, like based on my bias, right, I feel you should, even if you're a Christian, you should focus on the Christian one, because that it even pays more, and the stress, all you need is the key letter you need is from your senior pastor or your general overseer or something like that. But for the stipendium of Hungary, it's there too. Then if you're into agriculture or food science and things like that, then you can then talk about go for the FAO one, which I also shared. I'm going to reshare that now. So I think ultimately all your questions will be fully answered if you look at the website. So I think that's one thing we always teach, and that's why we don't tell people to pay, because we believe that you should. We'll give you all the information you need, and then you can explore and get yourself. So if you have confusion in the process, and that's why the group is there. In case, I saw somebody asking where he can get TOEFL questions. If you're in the opportunities with EJD group, we have people they're always sharing materials, like people who have written TOEFL, who have written all these exams, and you can have access to past questions. So if you're not in the chat on the WhatsApp group, so the last one I shared now is the WhatsApp group chat. So you can just click on it and become a member of the opportunities with EJD. They will share scholarship opportunities and job opportunities. Interestingly, like I said, this is like the eighth webinar we've been having on that platform, and they have been talking a lot about scholarships. So if this is your first time, if this is your first introduction to scholarships, one thing you surely want to do is you want to use your data very well to explore, to understand what scholarships are about. And then if you're interested in a particular country, I'm going to share a link very soon to the playlist, the playlist on all the scholarship webinars we've ever had. We've talked about America, we've talked about Hong Kong, we've talked about Japan, we've talked about all kinds of scholarships. So you want to definitely look at the one that really interests you. And in fact, this video too, this video will be uploaded also on the same playlist, so you can see every webinar we've ever had on scholarships across different parts of the world. So that link, I'll be sharing that right now. So you need some time to, most of the times there are people just want you to tell them everything. Nobody can tell you everything. If you really are interested, that's why I really appreciate those who have already applied. So you can be sure they mean business. And one of the things we do also is, for those who have applied already, you can also come to the group. If you're in the group, you can also, one thing we do is we try to share information among ourselves. Somebody said that is it the WhatsApp link that is not clickable? Somebody said the WhatsApp link is not clickable. Is that correct?
Sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it for everybody or for just one person? Maybe it's from your side, because I've seen people who have just joined the group now. So maybe you want to check your device and be sure everything is fine. I saw people who have just entered now from here. So you can check from your end and see if everything is fine. Or if you have my number on WhatsApp, just send me a direct message and I can send you the link on WhatsApp. Maybe that's another way to go about it. So so this YouTube thing you have now is the playlist of all the scholarship with something we've had. So I have some that are general. I have one on MEXT, another one on Hong Kong, another one on US, then another one. Okay, I think there's something else about, maybe because in opportunity we talk about scholarships and jobs. Then sometimes I also do live session to talk about how you can go about seeking scholarship. So maybe I'll do that. Of course, we do more of that in the following year, in the next year. This one will be our last webinar for this year. The last one we had was about Russia. So and by next year also we should be doing something about Erasmus. That's another very popular scholarship. Erasmus is very unique in the sense that if you get an Erasmus scholarship, you study in at least 2 European countries. In fact, sometimes it even involves some other countries like maybe Canada or so. But most times people get to study in 2 or 3 or even 4 European countries. So you do one semester here, do another semester, you keep going around like that. So yeah, let me see. Do we have any hands still raised? We have.
Please,
yeah, I don't
sir.
mean Emmanuel. Okay,
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead.
The last question I wanted to ask that, is it possible to obtain an international passport before the deadline of carry on scholarship?
We are not sure. The immigration will decide that. We don't know how fast the process will be. I think the passport situation is better these days, though. So you may want to check that out. Oluwafemi Moses is asking. Let me see. Good afternoon, sir. Please, is it possible to invite you for physical training or lectures for our youth to have more knowledge on this? Well, if you're in Japan, and Dr. Adeniyi is in Italy. So if you're in Italy, if your people are in Italy or Japan, definitely. And if you want to fly us out to your location, maybe we can find time. But I think, if they are young people, then we should be able to do something online. These days, everything is online. We don't have to be all over the place. And if you want I'll give you my email address, right? And then we can take, or better still, I'll give you my email address here. So if you have something, you can just tell me from there. But I feel that if you want physical, that may not be so easy, but we can always have something like this, like on Zoom, on Google Meet, or whatever like that, right? Thank you so much, Oluwafemi Moses, for the question. Samson Oluwabukola, your hand is raised. Oh, okay. Samson is just trying to come in. Sorry. Adewumi Emmanuel, do you still have some questions?
No, sir. No, sir. No more questions, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Felix Jidonu, please, your question. Felix? Okay. What about Messi Bisola? Do you still have another question?
Yes, I do. Concerning
Okay, please go ahead.
the recommendation letter, as
Okay.
a data live member, can I ask my region overseer to write it for me?
Regional overseer. Well, I mean, I don't know, but what he said is like your most senior pastor. Yeah, I think state overseer should be able to write it too. Yeah, because at least they are in your state. That's the number one person.
All
right?
Sir. Then secondly,
yeah, I think that should be possible.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. This one is not about
Hungary.
It's about Sweden. What advice can you give to someone who is applying for it, and since I'll be paying an application fee, what do you advise? Do you advise that I apply for it? Although I've started application, it remains the payments, and so I don't know.
So are you talking about the Christian scholarship?
No, this one is Sweden. I don't know if they have
Sweden. Is it that SI one?
Yes.
Or do you have I thought that one is for people who have been working and they have some experience working.
Yeah, I have some experience in this field, for
okay.
not that long.
What's your field?
Bioinformatics.
Bioinformatics. Okay.
Yes, and molecular biology. So
okay. I mean. Okay, I think one thing is that, I mean, when it comes to scholarships, it's more like cast your bread upon the waters. Like I keep saying that before I finally got a PhD position in Japan, I applied, I made up to 500 attempts, writing professors, I wrote GRE, I wrote IELTS, I even got some admissions, but admission is not the big deal. Funding is the big deal ultimately. But the key is you keep trying. If you can afford to pay the application fee, and I mean, it's some. In fact, at some point, I didn't even care if I had enough food. Before I buy food, I will have data first. So you should see this as a stage at which you are investing. And I mean, most of it you won't get some favorable response. But if you can get one favorable response, it will make you forget all your sacrifice, right? So I think, because I mean, it gets to a point, applying for scholarship becomes like a job. Sometimes I'm coming from work, so I've been to work. Maybe after work I went to church, and I'll get home and I just discover, oh, one scholarship just came out. I'll just sit down, already have all my everything, because I applied to scholarship up to a point that it became like I can just sit down now, in 30 minutes I'm done applying for a scholarship I didn't even plan for totally, because I already have all my materials in place. So if you can afford it, apply for as many scholarships as possible. Then in some cases, some scholarships don't even ask you for application fee. For instance, if you're applying to Japan, nobody asks you for application fee, especially if you're applying through the embassy. So you can also look for scholarships where you can avoid paying, or if the payment is not too much. Of course, if you can also afford to pay, see it as a sacrifice too. Because I mean, I had a little bit of advantage because I was already I was a graduate assistant and later lecturer in FUTA. But I knew that I needed to invest. I could buy land or buy a car that time, but I knew that I still needed to go further, because you don't settle if you have not arrived, right? So that was what was guiding me. So if you can afford to pay, fine. And if not, look for scholarships not all scholarships require you to pay application fee. So look for the ones that do not require you to pay application fee if possible. And if you can afford it, pay, right? Does that help in any way?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay. Okay, no hand is up again. So I think people are saying that the link is not shareable. So if you're a member of the opportunities with EJD group, can you what can I do now? Let me see. So I'm going to use my phone to get the link out. Okay, maybe I'll recopy it to Google Notes and then copy it here. So let's hope you can now share it. So I've shared all kinds of links right now, including the opportunities with including the playlist of all the scholarship webinars we've had. So somebody says I need GRE exam questions. Okay, yeah, somebody will, I'm very sure somebody will attend to you very soon, because I mean people have asked such questions. So in the group, right, you have people who have won scholarships, and like, I mean, at least in that group, 2 people entered America just this year. So we have people who have been through some of these things, and they actively share information. So how do I get the link again? Okay, invite via this copy link. Then let me throw the link into Google Notes and try to copy it out. Hopefully this time around it will be clickable. Okay, so stage one done. Second stage, I'll just come here. Okay, guess I need to close and open this again. So watch out. I mean, next year will be maybe the first. It's either we have a practical session or we have I don't know which one will come first, whether Erasmus Mundus comes first or we have a hands-on session. That hands-on session, what I do is I just come with no agenda. All I do is so I take, it's more like a scholarship clinic. So you tell me what you want and we navigate. So I'll show you how to, maybe you are looking for professor, you are looking for one thing or the other. I'll show you practically how to go about it, you know, navigating all those different things. This thing has not showed on my computer. I sent it from the phone. Okay, while we're at that, right? Another thing is maybe you are here, you have issues with some mathematics question, some mathematics. Maybe you're still an undergraduate or you're even a master student or something, and you need help with some maths thing. So this can also, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel to get, I have all kinds of videos on any kind of topic you can think about, right? Then another thing is, if you're into data science, I also have a curated playlist on starting from, so if you have totally no idea about data science, so I have a curated playlist, some playlists rather, on data science, starting from even Microsoft Excel foundation. I believe everybody should know that. Then after Microsoft Excel, then I have Microsoft Excel is like 45 videos. Then I have 60 videos on Python basics, so that if you don't know anything about Python, as far as you have a computer and you have a Gmail address, you don't even need to install anything. You can use Google Collaboratory to write your codes. Then after that, I have 35 videos on data analysis with Python. Then I have like 11 videos on SQL, that's structured query language, SQL, with Python too. And then I have 60 videos on machine learning, that's data science, machine learning, like that, another 60 videos on machine learning. So you may want to explore this option. So just you can subscribe to my channel and follow all these things up. So let me see if that WhatsApp link has now registered on my computer from my phone. It should have by now. It should have. I think it has, right? Yeah, thankfully it has. I hope this one is clickable. Now I'm going to drop it now, and as we try to round off. Okay, somebody said, can just concluded school leaving students apply for these scholarships? Yeah, if you're just leaving school, of course. In fact, undergraduates can even apply, because I think for that Christian something, there's one for undergraduates too. But the only thing is that undergraduates may need their parents to support them or something. So that's why I am a bit careful about undergraduate, because if you're not there, if their parent does not support what they are doing, it may be a difficult thing to do. Oh, it's still not clickable. So if it's not clickable and you have my number on WhatsApp, okay, let me drop my WhatsApp number. So you can just send me your WhatsApp. You can just send me a message on WhatsApp. Then I'll send you the link, and I hope that should work. What's that now? +234 080 690 22177. So just send me a message on WhatsApp. If you're not already on the group, then I will just send you the link. Somebody said it's clickable on their end. Yeah. So I know if it's not clickable on your end, it may just be a device issue. Okay. So on this note, we thank our I'm sure there are no other questions. So for those, if you did not come early enough, this video is recorded. So I'm going to, once it's ready, I'm going to put it up on my YouTube channel, and I'll share the link as much as possible. So you can watch it over and over again to see if there's any information you missed. Then when I get the slide from our guest speaker, Dr. Adeniyi, I'll also share in the opportunities with EJD group. Yeah, on this note, I say thank you very much for attending this. Personal development is very important. You must invest in your future so that just like I said the other time, you don't settle down when you have not arrived. So I mean, by the time I graduated from FUTA, right, I went for NYC in Katsina, and by the time I came back, it was more like easy. Like I got a graduate assistantship because I finished the first class, right? So I could have said, oh, this is my final bus stop. No, but I knew that I had to sacrifice to get here. So I also need to keep sacrificing to go to the next level I want to get to. So don't settle, keep trying your best, keep asking questions, because the fact even remains that not everything is not even money. Because if it is about money, I mean, how will somebody like me get opportunity to do my PhD in Japan or something? So keep asking questions. Information can do for you what money cannot do sometimes. So of course, I'm not saying you totally don't need money, right? But information can even help you to get that money you think you need sometimes. All right. So somebody just raised their hand now. Can we take you and then we round off? I've forgotten the. Oh yeah, please go ahead. Talk by Solomon Alashe. Your question, please.
Sorry, I'm in the classroom. I'm in the classroom now. So
yeah, it's noisy at your end.
Yeah, so I'm in the classroom. I'm in the classroom right now.
Yeah, I'm hearing the noise more than your voice.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
It's a bit better.
All right. I'm trying to come.
You can type it in the chat or ask in the group later if you can't type in the chat. Is that good? I'll wait for your question in the chat. Oh, it's actually clickable. Yeah, I'll wait for your question in 5 seconds. If it doesn't drop, then I'll expect it on WhatsApp later. Okay. All right. So, like I said, let's round off here, and so catch you somewhere on social media, on WhatsApp, in the opportunities with EJD group, and of course we have other communities like that where I feature prominently. So feel free. You have any question? Okay, I just want to appreciate for this opportunity. Yeah, it's always a pleasure to do this. Like, I mean, we got here because we also got some information, and the least we can do is to also share this information with other people so we can all get better together, right? So keep striving, keep trying, don't give up. You will fail many times, but failure is saying somebody said when you fall down, pick something up. So maybe you have applied for some scholarships and you're tired. Don't worry. Don't forget my story. I had to try like 500 times before I finally got just one. But I promise you, once you get that one solid scholarship, you are going to be you forget all your troubles, you forget all the pains you've been through. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah, thank you so much for the appreciation. Afolayan Joseph, thank you. Felix, thank you so much. You're well appreciated. It's my pleasure all the time. So catch you somewhere on the streets or on social media somewhere. Bye.
Thank you so much, sir. God bless you, sir.
Amen. Thank you, sir.